most important part of a web push notification message. So in this video we'll look at the different elements that make up a web push message, such as image, call to action button, etc. We'll also talk about which browsers work best with push and where my clicks are coming from my own push subscribers. The first point to note is that web push is all about the browser. And this concept of the browser is very important for a few reasons. Firstly, consider that web push is a very invasive messaging system. So you are literally interrupting visitors right in their browser when they're browsing the internet with this huge pop-up. For this reason, constantly sending aggressive marketing messages will result in high unsubscribes, although in my experience this can be countered by the amount of money that you can make from using this kind of aggressive marketing. Secondly, we reach desktop users using push, and in my experience between 70 and 90% of my own buyers come from desktop. So browser push is specifically built to target the best users, the best buyers, while they're literally sitting there in front of their browser. So it's very, very powerful. Thirdly, both the opt-in code and the message, the broadcast messages, appear slightly differently in each browser. However, the Chrome desktop browser is responsible for between 50 and 70% of my opt-ins and between 70 and 90% of the traffic that I send. And the reason for this is because Chrome allows call to action buttons which can add as much as 30% to our click-through rate, and Chrome also uses much bigger images. So it is important to understand the difference between different browsers and how the push notifications appear for different browsers. So we're going to look at that in this video. So firstly, let's look at the opt-in pop-ups themselves. And if you remember, there are two opt-in pop-ups to get people to subscribe. The first pop-up explains what visitors get for subscribing, basically pre-selling them, and it looks pretty much the same on all the major browsers, including Chrome and Firefox, which are the big two. However, pop-up number 2, which is the real message that subscribes the visitor to your domain, looks slightly differently on Chrome and Firefox, as you can see here. But there really isn't too much to talk about when it comes to the actual opt-in pop-ups themselves. The real difference comes when we start to talk about the actual push notification messages that we're going to be sending, because these work much better on the Chrome desktop browser. So push notifications works on all major browsers. It works on Chrome, Android, Safari, Firefox, Opera, Microsoft Edge, etc., etc. However, as you can see from this screenshot, the size of the pop-up is much bigger on Chrome on Windows 10. There is a full-size image along with the small image. There's the headline, and then there's also this call to action button, which is essentially exclusive to Chrome. Compare that to the Firefox on Windows pop-up, which, as you can see, has only the preview image, the 192 by 192 preview image, and the headline. Now, the Firefox preview also has our description text, but that certainly doesn't make up for the lack of the CTA button and the lack of the super image. And then you can see there are other browsers shown here, but really it's all about Chrome on Windows 10, and that's where the majority of your subscribers and certainly the majority of your clicks are going to come from. Here's how my own browser distribution looked for my first 1800 subscribers. You can see that 93% of my subscribers come from web, and Chrome is by far and away the biggest distribution platform for me, specifically Chrome on desktop, followed by Edge on desktop. And that's great because those are two of the best platforms for push browser distribution. In particular, Chrome on desktop is the one that will be sending all of your clicks. Now let's actually look at the key components, the key elements of a browser push message. And these are listed in order of importance, i.e. how many clicks can these components send and how much can they pre-sell the person clicking so that we end up with high conversions. Image is the number one most important component by far, and in particular the large 512 by 256 image. One tip about this as well, make sure that you match the image to the URL that you're sending people to so that it looks similar, and when they click on the notification, they go through to a page which matches what they've just clicked on. The number two most important component is the call to action button, which is a maximum of 36 characters in length and only appears on Chrome, as you can see in the previous image. It's this button here that I'm talking about. And this call to action button, despite only appearing on Chrome, can actually result in 30 to 40% of all clicks that you'll get when you send your push notification messages. So what I recommend is to use a call to action text which again matches the description of whatever it is that you're sending people to. So if the product is about affiliate marketing with ClickBank, then the call to action button could say profit with ClickBank. If it's software to get traffic, then the call to action button can say click here to get traffic. Or if it's a demo video, click here to watch the demo video, or simply watch video. The third most important component is the headline, which can be a maximum of 96 characters. And once again, be sure to match the headline of your push notification with the headline or lead text of the URL that you're promoting. Those are the three main components, but let's look at the other key components of a web push message. Number 4 is the small image, which is only 192 by 192. And I suggest that you use a transparent PNG image here for best effect, as it will stand out on the notification. Number 5 is message text, which is the smaller text that can be up to 255 characters long, but appears below the headline. And this is most important for Firefox because as you can see, it doesn't actually even appear on the Chrome Windows 10 pop-up, but it does appear on the Firefox pop-up. The sixth component is the URL, which actually has no effect on anything. There is no deliverability issues to worry about in terms of domains being spam boxed or anything like that when it comes to push notifications. My only comment regarding the URL is to make sure that you are tracking your links using some kind of tracking service, whether it's using a tracking ID for your affiliate links or using ClickMagick to track engagement. And of course there is built-in tracking within Push Pro itself. And then the final two components that really aren't part of the message itself directly, but definitely need to be reflected on, are time, which is when you send, and I'll discuss this in depth in another video, but when you send your push messages has a huge impact upon your clicks and also the number of unsubscribes you get. To give an extreme example, if you send an aggressive marketing message out to all of your subscribers on, say, Christmas Day around lunchtime Eastern time, then anyone who gets that's going to be quite annoyed and will probably just unsubscribe out of spite. So you definitely want to get people at the correct time in order to get the maximum clicks and the minimum number of unsubscribes. Also, targeting. Try to match the offer that you're sending to the list, and if you can do this, you'll definitely see a huge spike in the number of clicks that you get. So those are the key components of a web push message, and you can see how this matches up on Push Pro within both the broadcast and the follow-up page on the left versus how it appears on Chrome on the right hand side. Remember as well that the done for you templates, which are included inside of Push Pro, will essentially do all of this for you. They all include pre-made images, call to action buttons, headlines, text, etc. And of course, they all involve giveaways and affiliate promos, which are proven to work. But once again, I did want to explain the general process of what goes into a push message so that you can not only use my done for you message templates, but also go ahead and start to create your own. So hopefully this video was useful in explaining exactly what the key components of a push notification message are, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. Thank you.